Welcome to Haunted Hannibal. This is in Missouri. Ghosts, scandals, and stories. I'm your host, Candi, and I'm with my lovely host, Raji.
Hi, everybody.
Today we're going to dive into the heart of Hannibal's darkest tales, from scandalous murders to haunted mansions. These stories will chill to your bones and ignite curiosity about the unknown. So grab your flashlight and prepare for a journey into the eerie and unexplained. Let's begin with one of Hannibal's most infamous mysteries, the Stillwell murder. Tell of love, betrayal, ghostly legacy. It all began on the night of December 29th, 1888. Amos J. Stillwell, a wealthy and well-respected businessman, was brutally murdered in his Hannibal mansion. The weapon, a two-edged axe, swung with such craziness that it stunned the small town. Here's where it gets chilling. Amos's wife, Fanny, and their children were asleep in the house during the attack. Fanny later claimed she saw a figure holding a weapon, but hid in fear and fainted shortly afterward. When she woke, rather than immediately calling for help, Fanny cleaned the crime scene. Yes, you heard that right. She cleaned the crime scene before notifying the authorities.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Her actions left investigators baffled. Why the cleanup? What did she see, perhaps? And what did she not want others to see? Adding to the mystery, the crime scene itself was full of odd details. Amos's body was found in the unnatural position. Valuables remained untouched, and bloodstains suggested tampering. This didn't look like a burglary gone wrong. It seemed personal. As investigators struggled to piece together the puzzle, the scandal began to unravel. Fanny Stillwell's behavior after the murder raised eyebrows. When she married Dr. Josephine Hearn 1 year after Amos's death, whispers turned into outright accusations. Dr. Hearn was no stranger to the Stillwell family. He treated Amos and was rumored a frequent presence in their home. Rumors swirled about the affair between Fanny and Dr. Hearn, and some speculated that they conspired to kill Amos. Their marriage only added fuel to the fire as the town's gossip mill ran rampant. The relationship, however, was tumultuous. They later divorced, remarried, and continued to attract public scrutiny. Early attempts to solve the case led to arrest of a local African American were quickly dismissed due to lack of evidence, a reflection of racial bias of the time rather than legitimate leads. It wasn't until 1895, nearly 7 years after the murder, that Fanny and Dr. Hearn were formally arrested. Dr. Hearn went to trial in Bowling Green, Missouri, but prosecution faced a significant challenge. Circumstantial evidence was all they had. The case was sensational, drawing crowds and media attention, but without direct evidence, it crumbled. Rumors of the affair, alleged threats by Dr. Hearn against Amos, and Fanny's suspicions actions were not enough for a conviction. Dr. Hearn was acquitted and charges against Fanny were dropped. To this day, no one has been held accountable for Amos Stillwell's death. The crime itself was unsettling enough. Hannibal's residents believe the story didn't end with the trial. The Stillwell mansion where the murder occurred has since been demolished, but another location connected to Amos's final hours has taken on a haunting reputation. The Munger House, where the Amos spent his last evening alive, now operates as the La Bihana Bistro, which is La Bihana Bistro is Hannibal spelled backwards. Visitors and staff. Yeah, I drove by there. I've never been in it, but I drove by there. Visitors and staff have reported unexplained footsteps, extinguished candles, and eerie presence. Many believe that the ghost of Amos Stillwell lingers, perhaps searching for justice. So what really happened that fateful night in 1888? Was Fanny involved? Did she conspire with Dr. Hearn? Or was she simply a frightened woman caught in the crossfire of a terrible crime? Could there have been another culprit? The mishandling of the crime scene and the lack of evidence methods available in the 19th century mean we'll likely never know the full truth. What we do know is that this case captivated and divided Hannibal, leaving a legacy of suspicion and ghost stories that still lingers today. Visiting Haunted Hannibal, if you're a history buff or a ghost enthusiast, Hannibal is a fascinating place to explore. Here are a few tips if you're planning to visit. Dining at the La Vijana Bistro. Enjoy a meal where Amos the spirit is said to linger, but keep an eye out on your candles. Take a haunted tour. Downtown Hannibal, I've been there. They offer haunted tours, including the Stillwell murder, and then visit the Mark Twain boyhood home, and then go around Hannibal. This place, I actually visited their graves. These two people, great. I didn't know who they were at first because I went to see the graves first, and then I read the story, and I'm like, this is who they are. Scandalous.
Right.
So it's interesting. I've never been to the bistro, though. It's pretty fancy, but I heard it has great reviews.
Well, we can always check out the menu and see what it looks like and tastes like.
Yeah, I've heard it's good.
Very good. So should we go check out the ghosts of the garden house now?
Yeah, we shall.
All right, here we go. The story of the garden house begins with Albert Wells Pettibone Jr., a Yale graduate and heir to a prosperous family business. Albert built a house in 1896 as a marital home for his wife Jessie and their children. But the Pettibones' time in the home was tragically short-lived. In 1899, at just 29 years old, Albert succumbed to pneumonia, leaving Jessie widowed with two young sons. Stricken with grief, Jessie sold the house to the Trowbridge family, another affluent household in Hannibal. The tragedy seemed to follow the home. The Trowbridges, too, experienced misfortune, adding another layer of sorrow to the garden's house's history. These events, combined with the home's ties to Hannibal's historic Central Park and nearby landmarks like Rockcliff Mansion, created perfect setting for a haunting legacy to take root. Today, the garden house is more than just a historical site. It's a portal to the paranormal. Its current proprietor, Chris Bobeck, is convinced the home is haunted by at least two spirits, a man and a small boy. The house's haunted reputation gained national attention when NBC's Today Show named it one of the top 10 places to sleep with a ghost, and for good reason. For over the years, there have been countless eerie experiences. Paranormal investigators have had some spine-tingling encounters at the garden house, including the attic unseen resistance. A camera crew reported equipment malfunctions while trying to capture footage in a specific part of the attic. Cameras would shut down inexplicably.
Here we go.
Yeah, but when aimed at one spot. Bad bed impressions. Chris and the producer witnessed an indentation form on the bed in the east room as if someone unseen had just taken a seat. No.
That's happened to me before, though. Scary.
Unexplained noises. In the kitchen, Chris discovered that a brass air vent cover had been dragged across the floor. There were no workers present that day, and the movement defied explanation. Guests often find silverware rearranged overnight or hallway lights flickering as if someone unseen is pacing the halls. One common occurrence involves motion-activated lights in the hallway. Guests frequently see them turning on and off repeatedly despite no detectable movement nearby. But perhaps the most chilling evidence comes from a photograph taken by Arif Dagin, a Turkish exchange student. The image reveals ghostly figures in the dining room, a man leaning forward and the face of a young boy. Paranormal experts believe these figures could be the very spirits that haunt the house. Who are these spirits said to linger in the garden house? The spirit, presumed to be an adult male, is highly active. Paranormal investigators describe him as energetic, often making his presence known through physical phenomena like moving objects and flickering lights. The boy. The young boy's ghost is playful, almost mischievous. He's known to rearrange objects, especially in the dining room, and his face has been captured in photographs. While his antics are harmless, they add a touch of uncanny to the house's atmosphere. Despite its eerie reputation, the garden house remains a beloved piece of Hannibal's history. Visitors come not only for its ghostly tales, but also to connect with the emotional legacy of those who lived and perhaps still linger within its walls. The spirits of the garden house aren't seen as threats, but as endearing companions to keep the home story alive. For Chris Bobeck and countless guests, these encounters add depth and intrigue to the property's already rich history. If you're planning on visiting the garden in Hannibal and want to experience the garden house for yourself, here are a few tips. Book a stay. Staying overnight increases your chances of ghostly encounter, especially in the east room or near the dining room. Bring a camera. You never know what you might capture. Maybe it's even a ghostly face in your photos. Take a paranormal tour. Many local tours include the garden house, offering a deep dive into its haunted history. Keep an open mind. Whether you're a believer or a skeptic, the garden house is a place that sparks curiosity and wonder.
All right, we're going to head over not too far from the garden house to Lover's Leap. So the history of Lover's Leap stretches back long before the European settlement. The Native Americans revered the site as a piece of worship, and the early explorers marked it on their maps as a distinctive geographic feature. Riverboats pilot navigating the mighty Mississippi used the cliff as a landmark, its towering height offering both guidance and wonder. The name Lover's Leap comes from a tale spun by Orrin Clemens, the older brother of Mark Twain. The Clemens fictional story tells of a Native American maiden and a brave from warring tribes who chose death together by leaping off the cliff rather than facing life apart. Though their story is purely fictional, it resonates with locals and visitors alike. Similar tales of star-crossed lovers dotting the cliffs of America help solidify Lover's Leap as a cultural and romantic symbol. Civil War significance and memorabilia events. During the Civil War, Lover's Leap played a more practical role. Union troops stationed a cannon named Black Betty at its summit, taking advantage of the cliff's commanding view of the river and surrounding terrain. It was a strategic encampment and underscoring the site's importance beyond its natural beauty. Over the years, Lover's Leap has been a backdrop for remarkable feats and strange events. The cave discovery in 1859, a landslide revealed a mysterious clay cave on the cliff's face, but another landslide quickly sealed it, leaving its secrets unexplored. A parachute jump in 1888, A.W. Myers thrilled spectators with a daring balloon descent and parachuted descent from the summit. A baseball toss in 1909, two catchers famously caught baseballs thrown from 250 feet above, showcasing skill and the site's recreational allure. No iconic location could be more complete without a touch of supernatural, and Lover's Leap is no exception. Legends tell of a Native American warrior sometimes seen on horseback roaming the cliffs, while no evidence supports this tale, adding to its mystical element to the site's enduring allure. For those seeking a brush with otherworldly, Lover's Leap offers an imaginative connection to the past and an eerie sense of the unseen. Despite its height and ominous name, Lover's Leap is also known for incredible stories of survival that defy explanation. Betty Jane Allers, 1937. At just 12 years old, this Girl Scout survived a fall down the steep cliff, later recovered from her injuries. 1938, a year later, 14-year-old Robert Beckner also survived a dangerous tumble, suffering head trauma, but making a full recovery. Ruth and Nancy Stroll, 2009, the story stands out as perhaps the most miraculous. Ruth and Nancy's brush with death in 2009 captured the attention of both locals and national media. Driving near the cliff, Ruth accidentally pressed the accelerator instead of the brake, and their Toyota Camry broke through the barrier and flipped upside down, hurling toward the Mississippi River. But instead of a fatal plunge, their car was caught by a 3-4-inch tree, suspending it 200 feet above the ground. Stranded in midair, the woman honked a horn and shouted for help. Tourists above spotted them and called for emergency responders. Firefighters arrived quickly, lowering a cable to rescue the woman. Miraculously, neither was injured. Later, Toyota issued a recall for the faulty gas pedal. Ruth found peace in knowing the accident may have not been her fault. Was it a stroke of luck or divine intervention? Either way, that tree, a small tree, saved their lives, became a symbol of hope and resilience. These incredible survival stories have led many to wonder if Lover's Leap is safeguarded by a higher power. The sheer improbability of such outcomes, especially at a site known for its dramatic drops, inspires awe and speculation. Could it be the spirit of the land itself, offering protection, or is it simply a testament of human resilience and the unpredictability of nature? Whatever the explanation is, Lover's Leap is a place of wonder, blending the beauty of the natural world with the intrigue with the intrigue of the unknown. Now, if you're visiting Lover's Leap like I have many times, here's what you need to know. Take in the views. The cliff offers stunning panoramic views of the Mississippi River, making it a perfect spot for photography. No joke. Beautiful. Learn the history, dive into the stories of the Native American Civil War strategy, 19th century adventurers. Reflect on the miracles, stand at the edge. There's, suicide warning. I mean, the gate's not high. There's a parking lot, and you can also have a picnic up there if you want to, too. It's very beautiful up there. And they have like a little placard with the story of the Native American. So Lover's Leap offers an experience like any other. So I recommend it if you're in Hannibal, Missouri. So the next stop isn't too far from Lover's Leap. It's actually just down the street. It's Jive, and it's a coffee shop, and it's downtown Hannibal. Before the espresso machines and the beauty chairs, North Main Street had a far darker reputation. The Red Light District and Charlie Gun, the powder room at 213 North Main, occupies what was once a hotel room rented by the hour. Yeah, woo! The ground floor housed a bar called the Alibi, operated by Charlie Gunn and his girlfriend, Hanky. But Charlie wasn't just a bar owner. He also ran nearby gambling den, complete with secret entrances for high-stake players. Their presence lingers in a literal sense. Their names remain etched in cement, doorstep of the corner of the building, a silent reminder of their infamous operations. The Jive's legacy. So, as I said, 211 North Main, now a cozy coffee shop, has its own history of intrigue. The building once housed Percy Hayden's hardware store, a successful business plagued by unusual problems of disappearing inventory. It turns out that thieves tunneled through attic spaces to steal goods from Percy's store. Despite success, Percy never solved the mystery, at least not in life. So the paranormal activity at Java Jive may serve a delicious coffee, but its menu also serves a healthy dose of paranormal phenomenon.
You're right.
I love saying that word. Ragtime, visitors and employees have reported faint ragtime music emanating from the shop's piano. Strangely, the keys remain untouched, as if unseen musicians are playing. Other eerie happenings include phantom footsteps on the upper floors and shadowy figures glimpsed in the corner of the room. Percy's ghost. Many believe that the spirit of Percy Hayden still haunts the shop. He has been identified by the distinct smell of cigars and the sound of a hacking cough. While not dangerous, Percy's presence is far from subtle. Playful paranormal activity. Java Jive seems to host a mischievous spirit. Lights turn on and off on their own. CD players spin without explanation. A former night shift worker shared her experience by hearing the whispering voices, a constant sense of being watched, objects moving mysteriously upstairs. Working at the Java Jive isn't for the faint of heart. Next door at the powder room, the paranormal activity is more intense. This building, once a brothel, seems to carry the emotional weight of its past. There's been recorded chilling EVPs, have captured sounds, including a screechy yes. There's been lingering energy. Visitors and employees often feel overwhelming sense of unease in the upper floors. Some have reported feeling unwatched or even experiencing emotional distress that forces them to leave. There's been mists and orbs. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence is a photograph taken on the third floor. It revealed multiple orbs interpreted as negative energy and mist-like shapes hovering protectively over individuals. Paranormal experts believe these mists could be guardian spirits tied to the location. The brothel's lingering spirits, the second and third floors of the powder room, are thought to be the epicenter of activity. Poltergeist phenomenon. Reports include furniture moving on its own, dowsing rods spinning inexplicably. During investigations, the presence upstairs is powerful, even leaving seasoned investigators rattled. The feeling of being watched, employees described the unnerving sensation of unseen eyes tracking their every move. Whether it's a shadowy figure or presence in the hallways, it's hard to shake the sense that you're never alone. The paranormal phenomenon. These two buildings tie directly into the colorful and often scandalous history of North Main Street, that is downtown. The shadowy operations of Charlie's Guns gambling den to the stolen goods from Percy's hardware store, the echoes of Hannibal's red light district seem to resonate strongly in the Jive in the powder room. Whether it's the playful spirit of Percy, lingering energy in the brothel's past, or the guardians captured in the photographs, these establishments offer a glimpse into Hannibal's darker side.
The Enchantment Rockcliff Mansion, a mansion built on ambition. Our story begins in the early 1900s during Hannibal's lumber boom. J.J. Cruikshank Jr., that is one heck of a name. Anyway, he was a man of vision and ambition, inheriting his family's lumber business and quickly turned into one of the largest sawmill operations in the nation. With success came wealth, and in 1990, J.J. built Rockcliff Mansion, a true architectural marvel. It featured South African marble, Cuban mahogany, hand-carved woodwork. Its 30 rooms boasted high ceilings, intricate detail, and expansive spaces fit for grand gatherings. Even the name Rockcliff evokes the image of a fortress of elegance perched high above Hannibal. But life inside the mansion wasn't without its drama. J.J. divorced his wife and remarried a younger woman, Anna Louise Hart. Together, they have 4 daughters and hosted lavish events, including a visit from Mark Twain in 1902. Twain, a Hannibal native, famously addressed guests from the grand staircase, adding to the mansion's historical significance. What sets Rockcliff apart isn't just its history, it's the spirits believed to reside there. After J.J.'s death in 1924, the mansion was left vacant for over 40 years. During that time, eerie stories began to emerge. J.J. himself is said to still watch over the mansion. Visitors and caretakers often hear heavy footsteps on the servants' staircase, which was reportedly his preferred exit. Then there's the chandelier over the grand staircase. It's known to turn on and off without explanation, often during significant moments in the mansion's history, as if responding to the home's ongoing story. A gentle female spirit, possibly Anna or one of the daughters, has been seen or sensed throughout the home. The third-floor ballroom is often filled with sounds of children playing. Laughter and phantom footsteps are common reports from visitors. After J.J.'s death, Anna and the family moved out, leaving Rockcliff to the elements. For 43 years, it sat vacant, earning a reputation as a local curiosity. So, 3 families that were local.
Demolition.
Yes, they tried, they stepped in to save Rockcliff from demolition, restoring it as a museum. Remarkably, much of the mansion's intricate woodwork and furnishings remained intact as if protected by unseen forces. Today, Rockcliff Mansion attracts history buffs and paranormal enthusiasts alike. Regional ghost hunters and national media have shone a spotlight on the site, uncovering stories that keep the legend alive. Let's dive into some of the most chilling and fascinating paranormal events reported at the Rockcliff Mansion. The grand chandelier has been known to flicker or light up during the significant events, almost as if it had a will of its own. Guests often hear creaking from a rocking chair that stops moving when relocated to the hallway.
Yeah, no.
Heavy steps echo on the servants' staircase, frequently reported by visitors and caretakers. Piano music often can be heard in the music room, despite no piano being there for decades. JJ's portrait in the reception hall seems to follow visitors with gaze, the eyes, adding to the home's already eerie atmosphere. The ballroom and schoolroom are hotbeds for activity, with sounds of laughter and playful spirits drawing attention. Despite years of neglect, the mansion's interior remained remarkably preserved, sparking speculation about a protective presence. Paranormal teams have visited Rockcliff to uncover its secrets. While sightings remain elusive, investigators have recorded faint electromagnetic disruptions and unexplained audio phenomena. Some believe the mansion spirits are protective, tied to the property's rich history and the emotions of those who live there. If you're eager to experience Rockcliff Mansion for yourself, here's how to make the most of your visit. Tours offer fascinating insights to the mansion's history as well as ghostly lore. The third-floor ballroom is a favorite spot for paranormal enthusiasts, known for its playful energy. JJ's portrait and the infamous chandelier are must-sees for anyone interested in the mansion's supernatural side. Whether you're a believer or a skeptic, Rockcliff Mansion offers a unique blend of historical elegance and eerie intrigue.
Oh, all right, we're going to head down the street downtown to Lulabelle's. Lulabelle's was built in 1917 by Madame Sarah Smith, a woman with vision and a knack for business. From the very beginning, the house had one purpose: to operate as a bordello. It was a unique design, included a speakeasy, gambling hall, and 6 private upstairs rooms for entertaining guests. During the Prohibition, Lulabelle's became a hub for clandestine activity, attracting gamblers and soldiers and locals seeking discretion. Despite its reputation, the establishment and its proprietors were well regarded in the community. They paid their bills on time, contributed to local causes, and provided a controlled space for vice. Madame Bessie Hiroschaller,
Oh, wow.
I don't know how to say that name, so I apologize, who took over in 1932, even redecorated the bordello in Spanish-inspired touches. Hannibal's authorities took a pragmatic approach to the red light district. By containing the rowdy behavior to areas like North Main Street, they kept the rest of the town undisturbed. This balance of tolerance and control. So paranormal activity at Lulabelle's. As Lulabelle's transitioned from bordello to bed and breakfast, it gained reputation as something other than Prohibition revelry paranormal activity. So reports of eerie phenomena have persisted for years. Guests and staff alike describe footsteps and voices. Unseen presence are frequently heard walking on the second floor and speaking in voices. The scent of vintage perfume is through the air, often accompanied by darting shadows. Mischievous spirits, playful entities, seemed delight in moving utensils, flinging food, and locking and unlocking doors. Imagine you're eating, you get hit in the eye with a French fry.
Heck no. Food fight with not fun.
I know. In 2008, the Paranormal Task Force conducted an investigation yielding chilling results. Voices and temperature drops were documented. An obvious device designed to detect spirit communication, repeated words like sex and pain reflected in the building's and
well, you know. Keep reading. I mean, I can't.
A KZZK radio member fled after feeling a ghostly touch on their arm. An EVP recording. Oh my God, what's those rooms that they had in 50 Shades of Grey? The sex room. The table and the X and the in 1988 or 1909.
The freaky through the ages. That's all I gotta say for the moment.
Okay. And see,
KZZK.
EVP recordings also captured fake praises, further cementing Lulabelle's as one of the Hannibal's most haunted locations. Today, Lulabelle's has embraced its storied past. The building serves as both a celebrated restaurant and an elegant bed and breakfast. The 6 original upstairs rooms now welcome guests in a refined setting that preserves the charm of the building's history. Meanwhile, the restaurant incorporates elements of its Prohibition-era roots into its decor and theme. For those intrigued by supernatural, here are some of Lulabelle's most compelling normal tells. The perfume, the unseen footsteps, the disembodied voices, the mischievous spirits, the ghostly food fights, the cold touches, the EVPs like sex and pain. Visiting Lulabelle, whether you're drawn by history or the food or the chance to experience something otherworldly, Lulabelle's is a must-visit destination in Hannibal. Here's how to make most of your trip. Dine in style. The restaurant offers a menu steeped in history with nods to its Prohibition roots. Stay overnight. Book one of the upstairs rooms for a chance to immerse yourself in the building's atmosphere. And ask the staff. The employees are more than happy to share their paranormal experiences. Adding a haunted tour, so take you around all the haunted places. If you like their podcast, make sure you leave us a review, like, subscribe, and until then, stay haunted.